What was your reaction when you heard the news?
I love Commissioner Stern. He was always up front.
Mm-hmm.
He was a terrific leader, a great visionary. He always joked with me about ruining draft day fashion.
Wait, what?
Every time he saw me.
What would he say?
He just joked about my red and white suit.
Every time he saw you?
Every time he saw me. I was just at an event with him, Isaiah Thomas, and Earl DePearl, maybe 3 months ago, celebrating the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody whose biological father played in the NBA, and I never got a chance to meet him, I dreamed of that day. Like so many young people, I'm not only going to make it to the NBA and play basketball games, I'm going to shake David Stern's hand. You know what that means? You're going in the first round.
Yep.
So there's a distinction. And so that moment right there not only changed my life and so many fortunes of my family, I want to acknowledge some of the things that he has done for the league that I don't think people really understand.
Like what?
So being born in 1973 and loving the game and playing on hangers in the house and all of that, before I was able to watch the NBA. Just think about that. A young child that's 5 years old that couldn't watch the NBA. How about that? Then all of a sudden, my childhood idol knew about him, Magic Johnson. Won a championship in college. And all of a sudden, he go to the league. I'm following. Where Magic go? He went to the Lakers. I'm following. Then all of a sudden, another guy, Larry Bird, they became the greatest rivals that the sport has seen.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, in 1984, a guy named David Stern takes over a league that a lot of sponsors and people who did marketing felt was drug infested.
Yeah.
And the elephant in the room in the United States, he had to convince these check writers that black players could be great pitchmen, to the point where he wanted his players to be looked at as movie stars and superheroes. And that's what the league continued to foster with Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, the Bad Boy Pistons, and then Michael Jordan. And then that was the diamond that took it to a whole different stratosphere. How about the Dream Team in 1992?
See, that's one thing that people don't realize is if you are young, you don't realize we didn't always have pros in the Olympics. We had basically a college all-star team go to the Olympics. There wasn't the fanfare and the big stars. It was a college all-star team in the Olympics. It wasn't the best players that we have. In 1992, that changed everything, and David Stern had a lot to do with it.
And that covers a lot of bases. You just said a mouthful. Now think about this. It shows your product globally. Name me the best international NFL player.
Joseph Ajay?
Okay. A reigning MVP in the Greek Freak and Luka Doncic and Dirk.
Oh, yeah.
They were all inspired by
He globalized the game of
the
basketball.
globalization of the game. That's one. Two, now all of a sudden these players get a chance to not only show their great basketball prowess to the world, but they also become international pitchmen. This is before Yao Ming, and this is before LeBron and people taking trips abroad with their brands and their teams. I went on a trip to Europe in 1996 with the NBA, playing with the Pacers. I went on a couple of NBA Cares trips as well.
Yep.
David Stern was a terrific leader. Now, there was some turbulence there.
Of course.
He was there 30 years.
Well, to have that job, you're not going to have everybody be happy with you,
Correct.
especially when you're at the negotiation table as much as he was.
Oh, did you say negotiation? So let's talk about the money. In the 80s, you could buy an NFL team, NBA team, $5 million. I got that in my pocket. Now, the average team is $2 billion.
Crazy. And if you just let's talk about the money for a second. Look at those numbers. What do those numbers tell you?
The numbers tell me growth. It also shows somebody has to be a visionary, because as a young kid, remember, I talked about not being able to watch NBA basketball in Detroit, Michigan. Now it's being watched across the world.
Oh, yeah, on phones. I mean, you used to watch it on tape delay. They were tape delaying the games. They were playing the games and then showing you the games later. Imagine that in today's day and age.
Imagine listening to the game on the radio. Okay, so now player salaries when he became the leader of the NBA, $250,000.
Now
You got that in your pocket, $250,000.
I do not.
Now today, $7 million. Before you even talk to an NBA player, $7 million.
Mm-hmm.
Name whatever player, $7 million. Nicholas Batum, $125 million. Imagine what Michael Jordan thinks every time he pays Nicholas Batum. That's because of this man.
So one thing I want to ask you, because we all know what he's done, and especially the way he's been celebrated, but what was he like as a person? Like from the outside as a fan, so I know his legacy, I know what he's done for the game, but what was a personal interaction like with David Stern?
Wow. I'm going on, what's this, 94, 2004, 14. I'm 25 years almost in the league, working as a player and in the media. And every time he saw me, especially when I retired, he always complimented me about how he felt I was a terrific television ambassador for the game. And he would always say I was the best. I appreciated that about him. He also would joke with me about ruining draft day fashion. But I always would pick his brain about thoughts and ideas. When I just saw him, I was asking him, what did he think about load management? Just saw him 3 months ago. Asked him what he think about load management, the growth of the game, and to be such a visionary and such a leader, you're not going to always keep people happy. I remember a couple of rules changed that I didn't like. I didn't like when the NBA changed the ball when I was in Phoenix in like 2006.
Yeah.
I didn't like when the three-point line got moved in the mid-90s. I didn't like when a dress code got instituted. But here's what I realized as I got older about the dress code thing.
What's up?
He didn't enforce it.
No.
That was a headline.
How many people got fined?
That was a headline.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app.
And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.